Professor Sir John Beddington, Chief Scientific Advisor to Her Majesty's Government, said that today's food reserves are at their lowest levels since 1970. Moreover, by the year 2030, the global population will increase from 6 to 8 billion, making the problem even more acute.
The ratio of our use, of our stock to our use, is around about 14%. So that means that we have stocks for, give or take, about 57 days. So it's 14% of 365. To give you an illustration of that, because of world trade, all world stocks are on the sea at the moment. Now, we're not going to get a hurricane that wipes out all shipping, and we will then therefore not do it. But it gives you an idea of the scale. Historically, this is the lowest we've ever seen in terms of the stock-to-use ratio. Been enormous rundown in reserves, particularly in China, but also in other areas of South Asia. Big rundown of US reserves. So this stock-to-use ratio is a real problem. And we are at the lowest level of reserves since the early 1970s. And it's a big concern because this is going to drive an enormous level of volatility in the markets.
The major drivers of these changes are population increase, urbanisation and a rise in the middle class in countries such as India and China.
In 2005, it's estimated there were 350 million households in the developing world with an income of greater than 8,000 sterling. The projection is by 2030 that will rise to 2.1 billion. So that's a sevenfold increase in the purchasing power of what you might call the moderately wealthy, quite wealthy in the developing world. And that is an enormous driver because that increases the demand, which are driven by population but also increasing wealth, but it increases the demand not just for better food products. People move off essentially subsistence agricultural products into wanting more livestock and dairy, but also into demand for better energy supplies and so on.
Professor Sir John Beddington said more investment in science and technology is vital if solutions to these life-threatening issues are to be found.
And the way, as Deborah mentioned, the way that I've actually addressed the job, and I've been in it for about a year and a half, is to actually